What if chairs were illegal? Imagine a world where sitting is a crime. It sounds funny, but what would really happen? A short history of chairs from thrones to office chairs. Early chairs were stools made from wood or stone that were used by religious figures and rulers. They symbolize power and status. For most people, chairs weren't necessary until the Industrial Revolution, when factories and offices needed seated workers. Today, we use them everywhere, but chairs are a necessity. We can live without them. So what if they disappeared? The rise of a no-chair law. Why would a government ban chairs? Let's invent some reasons. 1. Health. Some studies show that prolonged sitting can be bad for us, increasing risks of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Sitting for too long might also weaken our muscles and bones. Equality. Chairs are expensive. Making them illegal could help poor people who can't afford them. Also, standing is free. It's more egalitarian, or maybe it's just easier to enforce. 3. Minimalism. The government wants us to live simpler lives with less stuff. Maybe they hand out blankets and shoes to all citizens and take away their cars, iPhones, and chairs. And maybe they make kneeling illegal, too. But let's focus on chairs. So the government passes a law banning chairs. What happens next? Standing society. Everyone gets used to standing all day, every day. Kids stand in standing classrooms. They grow up wanting to join the sit squad. At restaurants, customers stand in line to order food. They eat quickly and lean against walls or windows to socialize. Toilets get redesigned as standing models or squat toilets. Some people invest in tall toilets with handles to bring back the good old days. On public transport, people stand close together in leaning pods or in standing zones. Rich people buy entire train cars so they can lie down, or teenagers sneak in and play hide and seek. At work, standing desks become the norm. But not everyone has one. Some companies give employees allowances to buy their own desks, while others only give them to top performers as a reward. People miss chairs so much that there's a black market for them. Sometimes people smuggle in old wooden chairs from neighboring countries. Other times they make chair replicas out of cardboard boxes or barrels. In some cities, underground groups organize sit-ins where people bring their own chairs or make do with whatever they can find. On the streets, cops crack down on anyone taking a break. When they see someone sitting, they ask them to stand up and explain why they need a chair. If the person is elderly or disabled, the cops call social services. It's been 2 years since chairs became illegal. How does daily life look now? Ceremonies are awkward. Weddings aren't joyful anymore. People line up to exchange vows and awkwardly stand throughout the ceremony. Afterwards, they attend the reception, stand on ceremony, awkwardly eat and chat while standing. Some people prefer to simply skip ceremonies altogether. Same with funerals. Saying goodbye to a loved one becomes a formal event filled with uncomfortable moments and stilted conversations. Waiting rooms are hell. Doctors' offices, airports, and bus stops become torture devices. People try everything to stay comfortable, stretching, leaning on walls, sitting on the ground, but never relaxing. At school, students struggle to pay attention. They complain about the discomfort and try to sneak in chairs. Those who can't concentrate well while standing have a hard time learning. Teachers have to walk around constantly to maintain order. They try new teaching methods to keep students engaged, but sometimes just give up. After all, how can you learn when your feet hurt? Offices are more productive, right? Well, some of them. Workers used to spend hours sitting in meetings that went nowhere. Now they get straight to the point because nobody wants to stand around for hours listening to nonsense. But many other workers can't focus while standing. Their brains can't think as fast as before. Creativity is down, so is productivity. Some companies install fancy standing desks with built-in treadmills, but these end up being used as coat racks. The trendiest workplaces are the ones with secret stashes of chairs. Employees know their bosses don't want them to sit, but they don't care. They break the law and take breaks whenever they want. Health. Is the standing world healthier? Probably not. Do people feel less back pain or more? Studies on this are inconclusive. Standing for too long can indeed be harmful, but so can sitting for too long. We don't know which is worse. One thing is sure, though, standing puts more strain on our legs. This can lead to leg and foot pain, varicose veins, and swollen ankles. People with knee or back problems suffer the most, but there might be some upsides. Standing could improve posture. People are less likely to slouch or hunch over. This might also increase blood circulation and reduce the risk of some diseases, but that depends on how long we stand. Still, some argue that these benefits are outweighed by the negatives. Plus, it's hard to relax when you're standing. You can't take a nap or lounge around. This increases stress levels and affects sleep quality. Some people develop strange habits. They twirl or bounce on one leg or walk around their houses nonstop to relieve boredom. Others spend lots of money on treatments like acupuncture or massages. Social and psychological effects. Standing makes socializing harder. People can't sit around for long, comfy hangouts anymore. They meet up at cafes and leave after a few minutes or stay standing in awkward silence. This could affect mental health. Some people crave connection and comfort. Not having either can make them depressed or anxious. Many relationships end because couples don't want to put up with each other's presence all the time. Friendships falter because meeting up is inconvenient. Family bonds weaken because parents and kids don't spend much quality time together. After all, who wants to hang out with their family? Weddings and funerals become stressful events instead of joyful or sad celebrations. They turn into competitions to see who can stand the longest. Standing changes how we perceive time. Hours pass quickly. We don't have time to read, watch TV, or listen to music. The government encourages us to be efficient. It offers classes on how to fold laundry or cook quickly. Some people take notes to remember everything they have to do. Others wear smartwatches with reminders. There are many rebellions against the regime, but none of them last long. Members of the Sofa Society are arrested and given community service sentences. Sometimes people try to overthrow the government, but attempts are unsuccessful. Standing is the new normal. Is there any hope for the sit squad? Yes, but it comes from an unexpected source. A study shows that standing all day is harmful. It finds that people who stand for too long have increased risks of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. It also weakens their muscles and bones. Overnight, standing goes from cool and trendy to lame and dangerous. Some people regret what they've done and try to bring back chairs. The government refuses, though. After all, they took away chairs to improve our health. Doing the opposite would make them look bad, so the study is covered up and forgotten. Funny thought, maybe we already sit too much. Standing isn't the enemy, but moderation is. So should we go back to normal? Watch another video. What if schools were free? Or check out this playlist.